I just can't take it anymore. My life is worthless. My mom committed suicide. My boyfriend is so abusive. My boss is harassing me. This life isn't safe. I don't belong here. Can't get, it just can't get any better. Do you ever find yourself thinking that? Now, I'd be hard pressed not to believe that all of us do. And let me tell you, it stinks. So you're asking yourself, is there any hope? Can I have a real friend who won't judge me? Can I be appreciated and accepted for who I am? Does it exist? Well, stick around. I believe I can help you a little bit here. So, let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Struzzi Live here, and welcome to Struzzi Live Interactive. So, what are we all about? Glad you asked. We are a non-inclusive Christian community of a variety of gaming styles, just to name off a few: platformers, RPG, JRPG, MMORPGs, and open worlders. Our purpose is for any or all who struggles with negativity, or those that feel like you don't belong and would like to feel connected. This very special community is for you, but don't take my word for it. Let's introduce how we got here. So, let's turn back to the late 2000s. The founder of the ministry, that's me, frequently visited online chats with not exactly understanding the dynamic of the culture, and he took to the virtual streets to share an abnormal entity known as Jesus. The man is a Christian, by the way. It's okay, I don't judge. So right around then I discovered somebody had made a Legend of Zelda format of a Mega Man style game. For quite a while, this individual, over the next several years, I would, scratch the surface in learning about people on the internet. So we fast forward to 2011. The individual I met several years ago participated in what I understood at the time to be a gaming marathon in support of Autism Speaks. And this was a very big deal to me, because in 2006, that's right, it's a backflash, I worked for a learning center for young children on the autism spectrum. And for a couple of years, I worked there, and it's my belief God was trying to show me just how different I really am. So you're thinking, yeah, of course we're all different. I love the water, but I hate mud. Yeah, I get it. But the difference I'm referring to is during my employment there, it was there I actually discovered that I was just like them. And in addition, I learned about how isolated they can be from society and essentially unaccepted in this world. So, with that understanding, I didn't hesitate to participate in that marathon. What I wasn't counting on is how interested I became. When another friend was using a green screen for his stream, I had no idea what that was at the time, but I know that led me to a couple of curiosities that would start to evolve around then. Now, for the next year, I would contemplate what could I do that could continue to impact the same way the marathon did. And I remembered being scolded a lot for sharing the faith, as well as a relationship I was in around 1999. It lasted steadily until around 2002. I learned a lot about how mental health can be a harm. I saw she was depressed for a long time, and my natural instinct would be to offer comfort and support. And so then I thought, how many other people suffer like that? So without much thought, it came clear to me. They do. So I launched a ministry a year later, where at the time was set up to be an oasis for people to come be themselves, where I had thought at the time that by being the stream, they would be able to walk out of there cured. Well, who was I kidding on that? So the ministry, despite having a couple of endearing moments, didn't wind up as successful as what I had hoped it would be. It went through a tumultuous suffering, and due to some personal issues, it made it more and more hard to stay consistent. Now, but since that time, I had been slowly pulling away from the toxic situations I found myself in, and very gradually over time, tried to get better, and stream provided my mental health would allow it. So, that's a little bit of the background, but let's talk more about the stream. Why do we exist? Okay, why do we exist at all? So the road getting to this point proved to be extreme trials and tribulations, and it would ultimately reshape how now I intend to stream, unless the Lord calls me in another direction. In the meantime, though, we do live in some terribly tumultuous times. We have an inflation rate that's just gone off the roof. It's spicier than a Reaper pepper, and it's caused a lot of people to be upset. We still, in this day and age, do. And we are lonelier than ever, looking for any hope that we can gravitate on, and it's hard to find. So we've all been there. We still go through times where even some evil voices want to tell us we're not good enough to stay alive. Well, I submit 70% of our population believe that, and ultimately 50% end their lives because of it. So here at what I call now Struzy Interactive, it doesn't matter if you're good enough. I would count it among many people, groups, and organizations that feel the same way, and I'm very grateful much more of them exist than there were when Twitch was born. For 10 years, we have had an unyielding heart despite the struggle I went through and did to the stream. We have struggled, not struggled, but we still try to be a casual community of gamers, content creators, and people in general who have hurt, and desire to be loving, desire a genuine, loving friend during their time of need. So at this point in the video, I'm not going to be offended if some choose to stop the video, but the next few minutes are going to tie in how my faith plays a big part of the ministry. Now, if you choose to stay and watch, it won't automatically mean you must become a Christian because this world is in shambles. Don't get me wrong, the world no doubt is in shambles. But for this video and for those who don't believe and follow something else, that is great. We will not make anyone believe as I do. If nothing else, it is a cool tool to explore, and it's well worth exploring. So again, for those that are curious, that is not what this stream or my channel is going to be about heretofore. I became a follower of Jesus on a Super Bowl night in 1998. It was a game changer, and for the first time in my life, I realized I could talk to God just as normal as I am with this video. Now, I mentioned some of the turmoil I went through and how I still face it today. With what I would learn later on is my relationship with Jesus Christ. In other words, it took me a lot of time to get to that point where I realized it. It's been the one constant in my life that hasn't changed. Definitely it's Him. It's ultimately the foundation of what eventually would be an understanding of loving all people with His unending grace and love. And so I believe ultimately that's what made my gaming more enjoyable, more calm, as well as why I really stream. So it is my earnest hope and prayer that God will use the people who come through my stream. And if being there for you is enough to bust through what you're going through, then that's great. We're going to use that in all our talents and gifts to emulate as best as we can the character of Christ. And to be very clear, I can't make anybody. That department is God's. Now, having said that, though, should one choose to take the knee and bow, there are resources, including myself, God can use to draw others onto Him. But again, I'm not here to force my beliefs on anyone. I just provide the gaming and music entertainment along with a couple of other surprises. So, if that sounds like something you want to check out, I will have my information available following the upload to the YouTube and in the descriptions. So, with that, welcome to Struzy Live Interactive. Hope to see you around the neighborhood.